recording.
Ooh, my drink is on point today.
Go girl.
Okay.
I am drinking water.
Really? That's so boring.
Drinking water.
I'm drinking from Publix. They have this it's pineapple lemonade.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's very good. It's pineapple
What did
strawberry
you mix
lemonade.
with it?
So pineapple strawberry lemonade.
That's a whole lot.
Exactly, but it's so light. You would love it.
Well, I think she's cutting us out anyway.
I was
let's start all over. I'm gonna start.
Now
I'm gonna start. Wait. Pause. Here we go. So, Joe, I tried this pineapple. I think it's pineapple strawberry lemonade from Publix, and it's very, very light. And you know how like
very light.
You know,
how do you make that?
No, light. I mean, first of all, it's very light in color, like very. And you how sometimes the lemonades are very, very sweet and pungent. This has a very light taste, and it's almost like gourmet, like you like it, where it's almost like watery, but it's not. But it has a sufficient amount of strawberry and pineapple, but it's not overpowering, right? Okay. And then I mixed it with Milagros tequila. Put a little bit of triple sec.
Wow.
Get that bad boy up.
Yeah.
A little bit of lime juice. A little bit of lime juice.
Very good.
That's what's up.
You hooked it up.
Yeah. All right. So we're ready.
You ready? All right.
I think so.
All right then. And 1, 2. Hi, and welcome back to Date with the Divas. You clicked on this video, which means you like us, or you like the look of our videos, or we're just
it's
fantastic.
Something.
They like us. They liking us.
They like us, right?
They
You like us. Well, continue to like us, and please click on that subscribe button. And we know you're going to love this video, so click that like as well, okay? And hit on that notification bell so you never miss out on the videos that you like, right? We said like a lot, right? Anyway. All right, so now you are part of the entourage. Welcome. We were talking about drinks, so grab your beverage of choice. For me, it's water tonight. For Lava, she's got a whole mouthful of beverage.
We got a pineapple strawberry lemonade tequila-ish drink. It's on point. All it's right, light and airy, not too strong.
Well, Lava, start us with your shenanigans, please.
So the shenanigans, we're going to continue on with Diddy. Now, at first I was kind of debating, like, should we give this a little rest? But then there was so much going on that I was just like, you know what? Let's give him a little bit more time. So the first thing is we're going to talk about the fact that Diddy's legal team filed an appeal seeking to overturn the denial of his conditional release on bail. So my source was the Shade Room, basically reported his attorney. Well, they proposed originally a $50 million bond using his mother, himself as co-signers, his sister.
Right? Didn't they try to use his mother's house? Or wait,
yes, exactly. Right? So I'm getting there. Huh. So it was secured by the equity of Mr. Combs' residences located in two in Miami, Florida. They, talked about the appraisal value, which is like $48 million, another one at $18 million, used to secure his bond. Secured by the equity in another house which was his mother's, that Combs his travel would be restricted to the Southern District of Florida and the Southern District of New York to attend court. And passports of the family members initiated and said that they've already got the passports surrendered for Janice Combs, which is his mom, Chance Combs, Jesse Combs, Delilah, and Love Combs, which is all of his the kids that he had. Even the baby. even the baby.
I'm just a
So,
baby.
it, just a baby. So, so they're trying to appeal it, and so within that, it was basically indicated that the prosecution basically said that we're proving that the defendant is a danger to society, and basically that he shouldn't be allowed a bond. So Diddy's still sitting in jail, but they're still working very, very hard and very, very diligently to remove him.
Love the baby oil.
No, you just had to do the baby oil. So that was the first part. But
Damn.
the most interesting thing that came out that I want us to discuss is the fact that a Houston attorney by the name of Tony Busby, I think that's how you pronounce his name, had a little press conference, not a little, but a big press conference with a little 1-800 number behind him so that people can actually call. That he was representing 100 to 120 people, 25 of which were minors at the time, and that they were planning to launch a lawsuit against Diddy. The lawsuit alleges that Diddy and others sexually assaulted and exploited them. He gives examples of some of the victims' stories. Well, I don't want to say stories. That's their
allegations.
Their allegations. Some of the things that they allege is that, like, one particular victim indicated that they were at a group dinner and she knew that she wasn't going to drink alcohol because she was indeed she was pregnant and she wasn't going to drink, and so she had one drink, and next thing she knows, she ends up in bed next to Diddy, and her anus and her vagina were bruised and sore. Another one indicated she went to a function, and when she went to the hospital, that they found cocaine in her blood and a horse tranquilizer. And I want to say that horse tranquilizer, I think, because I was listening to the radio today, 107.5, 107.9, and they were talking about, I think it's called like trunk. I think it's called trunk. That they were finding in people's blood system. So it was like a tranquilizer, a horse tranquilizer. Then they also indicated a youth that was a boy. And they also discussed this on the radio as well, that he was part of, seeking fame. And, here Diddy was supposed to be a mentor or assisting. He quit the industry because of the things that had happened to him. So again, you have 100 to 120 people, 25 of which are minors, and somewhere they start at the age of 9 to around 15 years old. What are your thoughts?
That's a lot of victims to have come out. I'm not saying it did not happen, but that many people kept a secret for 30 years. I mean, like, I'm not saying, I believe something has happened, but that's a lot of people. And you're telling me nobody wanted to file. I mean, were they that many people that scared? But I don't know if people are just jumping on the bandwagon and saying it, and then it's just going to make it worse. Like, versus, and they all went to this legal firm. I mean, nobody went to the police. Like, we all just, I don't know.
This
I'm struggling.
makes me think too that, you wonder, okay, well, Diddy's gonna be like,
get out my head.
I know, right? I wasn't on my own. These were all the people that was up in here with me doing this whole stuff, because I mean, it could have happened, but I don't know that he did all these 150 people's wrong or something. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Like, maybe he had accomplices, or
no, there's a lot of accomplices that have not come. There's no way that he could have done all this, that they're putting it on him. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of names being dropped. Is he going down?
Yes. So that's what. Go ahead, Lisha.
No, I was just gonna say, the last time we covered Diddy, I think it was Marilyn who sort of intimated that, because we were saying all the victims and the current charges he's facing, were women. And these 120, 50% are men coming up with these allegations. So I found that to be interesting.
Interesting. Mm-hmm.
And I believe there was one article on Salon.com where Busby said that he was going to name accomplices, but
I
they're
did,
making
yeah.
sure because of the seriousness of the accusation, they have to make sure everything is correct. And of course, to protect the
Victim.
minors,
Mm-hmm.
particularly the minors, it has to be correct. But I mean, from my understanding, they're going to be dropping lawsuits in California, in Florida, and in New York.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my thing is, to kind of like tag on to what Joe said is like, and even what you said, Michelle, is like, there are just so many people.
Yeah.
And I know that I feel like, of course, a lot of people are like, why is everyone waiting so long to
Mm-hmm.
come forward or whatever? But then on the flip side of stuff, I know everyone has heard about like how people have miraculously gotten sick or died when they've done something against him. So I'm thinking like, is that something too? So like there's like like
Like,
how when you have a diagram and you have, all or like those things that go here, yes, no, here, here. So it feels like a lot of people didn't come forward because you didn't realize how powerful he was, and how far his hand extends in terms of interfering and manipulating people's lives. So is that the reason why people did not come forward, haven't come forward?
same thing with
And
the Weinstein thing. Mm-hmm.
exactly, and then I'm thinking, so he's saying that they're minors, but I'm in my mind, I'm thinking, are they minors now? Or were they minors at the time and they're adults now? So, or,
I think
so
they were minors at the
Minors
time
at
at
the
the
because they
time.
time.
At
mentioned
That's
the
what
Okay.
a
I
time.
took.
9-year-old and
Yeah.
something, and like
Yeah, it
a
was a 9
At the
and 15
time.
year old. Okay.
Mhm.
So I wonder how old are they now? How, free, but then other memes are coming out, like the one with Mike Tyson at the Arsenio Hall show where he tried to put his hand on Mike Tyson's and Mike Tyson grabbed his hand and was like, and so it's a lot
And
of
was
like
it there was
different.
another one with Sting or something like this?
Yes, and he tried to like kiss him and he was like, whoa, so and then so it's sad. It's very, very sad. But of course, he denies,
What
all
happened?
of the allegations. So
I know there's some truth to it. I mean, I know he hasn't been convicted. I just, like I said, I wasn't saying that the people that came, it just seems like, wow, that mean like was nobody
Yeah.
correct. You know what I mean? That was more my thing. And you're
Yes.
probably gonna have some fake people, but
Yeah.
I
most
believe the
definitely.
majority are true.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that 1-800-1866, you've been did by Diddy. I mean, sorry.
Dang, Maryland done created a whole nother one number. No,
Busby, you got
entourage,
that.
that
That's
is
free. You
not the
better pay
number.
my girl for that number. You better pay my girl.
Not funny, sorry, but it's just the
Yeah.
fact that the lawyer's up there with this number, like, and
It's
seeking.
1-800-200-7474 is actually, I believe, the number.
Wow.
She
Yeah.
said, do Diddy.
You've
That
been
was
did by Diddy.
done by Diddy. But what I say is, what one thing that the one phrase that I keep in my mind is how many people in your life, like, and I want you guys to think about it. How many people in your life do you know that have been accused of like child molestation or rape one time, let alone 2 times? So it's one thing that someone accuses you once. I'm going to give you, I'm not even going to say I'm going to give you a pass, but then, there's some, 50-50 chance that you did it, you didn't do it or whatever. But I know if I was accused of anything, child molestation, anything, there better not be no kid around me without
Ever,
without
ever,
an
ever.
adult ever again in my lifetime, because I would not want that allegation to come out again. So if you have a person that has one, then two, then three, now we're looking at 15. That, and again, what they say in court is like prejudicial, but at the same token, it's just like, that's a lot of people for them to be mistaken. And again, you know, like you said, we have to weed out what's true, what's false, you know.
And then, you know, they also have to weed out, again, this is against him.
Him. I was gonna say
So
not all
of
that,
these
somebody else.
people,
Yeah.
which were him,
Exactly.
Versus
pull that
who
out.
gave them the drugs, even though he may instructed giving the drugs, he may not have put the drugs in their drink, and it might not have been him.
He may have facilitated certain activities with
Yeah.
other people,
Or he might have
as
been in the
opposed to
room watching them do it, but he did not do the penetration
Right.
or
Exactly.
all that. So this, that's what I said,
Exactly.
this is gonna be, if it goes to trial, because you know we don't know what's gonna happen to him. Not
Yeah.
wishing anything wrong or anything, but because
It's-
like you said, there's a lot of people. All I can say, if you were part of any of his entourage, you better be getting your affairs in order.
For real.
Real talk. Real talk. Real talk. So
watch out for that phone number.
Oh, that's why I was like, you that unknown phone number comes and you be like FBI, you know, you about to, you know.
Mm-hmm. No, it's true. You're gonna have to be like, because they're gonna fine tooth comb it, like go through everybody.
everything.
So
But
I'm curious, you know, has there have been, because I was talking about this with a colleague of mine, and we were trying to figure out, has there been a notable person in the industry that has come to Diddy's defense?
Nope.
Defense.
Nope.
that's a good one.
Not since this new one. No, everybody's keeping quiet.
Everyone's hushed. No one has.
Anybody.
And nobody said
I
anything.
don't think so.
I mean, aside from his kids, right? So, I mean, I think that's pretty telling that people are sort of just staying quiet, and some are even distancing themselves, right?
Exactly.
I don't want to
So-
get caught up in the rampage. Sorry, Michelle, I didn't mean to cut you off. They're just like,
No.
let me not get caught up too.
But I think, you know, the day of reckoning is coming.
Mhm.
Haven't we said it before? Like, where there's smoke, there's fire. And you're right. Maybe he isn't guilty of 120, maybe less. It actually may be more, because there are some victims that I'm sure are still pretty, you know, ashamed of what happened. And sometimes, you know, victims feel like they assume the guilt, and
Mhm.
that's why, you know, it takes a really long time for them to come out, because there's, you know, they're scrutinized,
Right.
and
And I would,
people, and when you're, you know, you're going up against someone like Diddy, who is powerful, or like Harvey Weinstein or Bill Cosby, you know,
Yeah.
like, it takes a lot of bravery and courage to come out and say it.
Most definitely.
And I think that, you know, when something like this comes out, or like when Weinstein, it empowers people to say, me, you know, I was a victim too.
Like
Exactly.
there's a power in numbers or whatever, right?
yeah.
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 So
So
Most definitely.
that's why it doesn't surprise me that they are all coming out now.
Oh yeah, most
We
definitely. That
probably
doesn't
will
surprise
never
me.
have a true count, because you also don't know about the ones, unfortunately, who took their lives because they could not deal. Like, you know what I mean? So we'll never,
or just don't want to come forward.
or
right?
just don't
Oh,
want to
yeah.
come out, because they have been able to move forward and either, you know, and
Some people are not there. I don't, you know, again, like, you know, there are times that, you know, people are, you know, they're like different stages of being able to kind of like compartmentalize and be able to deal with it. And some people may not be at that point, be at the end. But
or they
apparently,
may not want to open up that box again. Like if they dealt with it, they went through whatever treatment or whatever, and feel like they don't need to speak out because they don't want to relive it, to re-traumatize themselves, maybe too.
Yeah, so I agree. Like right now, I'm thinking about that now. Like no, like known celebrity has been like, oh, I stand by him. Everyone's keeping their mouth shut, and apparently, like these named the victims apparently supposed to be coming out within the next 30 days or so. You know, they're supposed to be like dropping people's names. And apparently, the victims might have gone. You know, like they're alleging that the victims, you know, they have proof from hospital visits. But again, you know, timelines have to be proven and things of that nature. And apparently, like, people are, I guess they're trying to figure out, like, those entities that paid those victims off in order for them to be quiet. So that's going to be pretty
I wonder how
interesting.
does that work? So they paid them to be quiet, and now this is all happening. So they got their money and they stay quiet, and now this happens. And so are they allowed to talk now? And then
Did you make me sign an ND? What is it? NDR? And non
NDA.
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 Sorry, non-disclosure
agreement. Yeah.
agreement. Yeah.
I, like, how does that work? I guess it doesn't matter. You got your money and now you can start talking or something. I don't know. Or because that was kind of like a bribe anyway, right?
I was
So
gonna say, isn't that kind of bribe? But I don't know how that works. Or maybe you have to pay back the money. I don't know. But
yeah,
maybe you
you
won't have
gotta
to pay
pay
it
back
back
the
because
money.
I was gonna say maybe you don't have to pay back because you can sue for civil and you were gonna get paid anyway. I don't know, but
Yeah, yeah. I don't know, but this is it's gonna be very ugly and very telling. Like when they start playing this on Court TV, hint hint Court TV, you better have this on there so I can watch it.
I
but
know, right?
but it'll be very interesting to watch. Like all the stuff come out because again, like we said, I don't believe he was in this alone.
Long.
he couldn't have done this alone.
Yeah. So to see who else will be part of this and to see also, you know, if he says something, like if he starts naming
Oh,
names, you know?
he gonna start talking.
Well, I mean, all of this ties back to the racketeering charges that he's facing, right? So it's not, he used his Combs enterprise to keep everybody
Quiet.
I.
aligned, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I just, I honestly, if what Marilyn said, if you were close to him or part of his entourage, I would be very, very, very nervous. But
Mhm.
what I wanted to say also was Diddy's attorney, I believe her name is Erica Wolf.
Mhm.
She made an interesting comment, when she was saying, he denies all of these allegations or whatever. And she basically said, well, he can't answer every single claim. But
Blame.
like if you were an innocent person, yeah, you would
Mhm.
deny every single claim. You would
Didn't he
address
deny
everything.
Cassie's claim too?
Yes,
And then the
until that
video came
video
out.
came out.
But I think she's double talking too to kind of say like
Because
he
she may
may do
be
it
part
all.
of
He may do
whatever.
it all. There's gonna be 500 of these, but he ain't the only one up in here. That's what she's
Right.
trying to say without saying it.
Well, look, we've had how long of a year? We in the fourth quarter,
Mhm.
and Diddy been on the calendar how many times? Do you see that meme on that one where
Mhm.
That's what I thought that was so funny. Like, he goes viral.
viral calendar? One of
Mhm.
they're like Diddy equal Connect Four.
Oh, dang.
Somebody said Diddy occupying 3 months. He's basically season winter, spring, and summer. Diddy's falls.
Oh, dang. These people come
I'm
up with
sorry.
some interesting things to say.
Exactly. And what happens in Connect Four when you connect four? Everything.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see how that unfolds. So Entourage, drop down in the comments and kind of give us, your opinion, what you think is gonna happen, because it's gonna be very interesting. And just like Joe said, let's put
And I
this on
feel
Court
for the
TV so we can all
kids too.
watch.
I know, right? I
But
mean,
I do feel sorry for his kids. They showed like on TMZ his kids leaving court. Um, yeah, so that was kind of jacked up too. On a lighter note, I found something kind of funny, and I know the last time we talked about, shiz and giggles. There is a podcast on called Conversations, and the conversation basically talked about infidelities, and a woman comes up to the mic and basically says, some things about being in an extramarital affair with a mate, and he says that he wants to leave. his mate to go with his side piece, her. And the panel is just kind of like, wait, hold up. And then she was like, wait. And he was like, they were like, let her finish. And she was like, that's not what we agreed upon. If you leave her, it's a wrap. So I thought that this was it's kind of funny, even though it's still.
She was like, if you leave your wife, I'm out. I'm out. Because I didn't sign up for this. I didn't sign up for this.
And I thought this was a nice little, well, not nice, but something light and funny, something to, for you to think upon when people are thinking about side pieces and how the mentality of side pieces. So I thought it was just kind of interesting.
I apologize. It's not like you. Sorry, I apologize. I was.
Joe is having her head.
She's gonna be mad. I'm trying.
Her head is.
I'm about to be like, forget the video.
There it goes, right there, but there's no audio.
Wife.
No.
That's not what I signed up for. That was not the agreement. If Jesus can rise on the third day, you can too.
Okay, all right.
How do I soften the blow? By telling him if he leave his wife, he leaves me too.
A queen.
I respect the camaraderie. She trying to keep the marriage together. And I respect that. The wife
She
back.
said I'm not a home wrecker.
I don't wreck
I will come
homes.
in and your shit up, but I won't wreck it. Okay.
No.
Again, and I just want to give you your credit, because there's a lot of women out there that'll be dating somebody that's in a marriage and a relationship and be under the delusion that if that relationship was to dissolve, then we gonna have a prospering relationship after.
But can you imagine being that man? Up your home, access to your children, and forfeiting this wife, this good woman that you have, to leave her for the woman that you've been kicking it with, up your home with. And when you go to her, she said, ugh, I don't want to cheat her.
Right. And that's what you deserve.
Like,
And that's what you deserve.
That's some crazy shit. Like, ugh, I don't want no cheater. Like,
You think I wanted that?
what? Can you imagine that?
So that's on, I got it from tonight's conversations, which I want to say it's a group, it's a panel of individuals. Some are therapists, social media gurus and things of that nature. And that was one of the clips that they show it, as a preface to their tour, because they go on tour.
They came to LA and I actually went. So it was very interesting. I think the clips are more funnier than what actually happens. I don't think, and maybe it was just the LA and nobody really talked about anything that was intriguing. But yes, I followed one of their therapists. They were like, "Where's Kitty?" Because Kitty's the marriage therapist. She wasn't there that night because she would have blown that one up. And I also I've got some comments. I actually read the comments of it. That was more funny to me. It was like, there was a lot of people like, why are you giving this woman credit? She's a home wrecker. And I'm sitting here thinking, hey, first of all, it takes two. You should be looking at the man. The man is the one who's, she's wrong. We're not saying.
We always go after the woman. Right?
You always go after the woman.
Go after the woman, but then you go on TV holding the man's hand.
Right. That's where it's kind of gets interesting. But yeah, I was like, let me share this because I thought the comments were funnier. Some of the comments,
I know some of the comments basically talked about like
reverse a Cardi B. Girl, you ain't ready for that savage move. Slide to the left. He said, no, madam, return to sender. And then they were like, that's some old school gangster relationship. That's how it used to go down at the times. Why do you think at the funerals, kids out of these relationships would pop up? This is finally a side chick with some sense. She said, oh, nah, that's a breach of contract.
I like that, a breach of contract. Now we're not condoning extramarital affairs.
or any relationships, anything. If you're gonna cheat, I mean, if you need to have an extra person or whatever, you need to end what you in, unless your person's okay with your extra marriage. It's an agreement.
You're in an open relationship, right?
You had that conversation.
Agreeable open
Yeah,
relationship.
and polyamorous, amorous, extra amorous,
whatever they want to call it.
Today.
Exactly. But I thought that was it. It was just it was
it is reverse.
exactly to what we were talking about, and I thought it was just kind of like interesting and just kind of something for you to ponder on. Just like Marilyn said, the comments, were kind of sick. And what I realize now is I live for the comments, and it's sort of like you can eat popcorn and read the comments.
Yes.
Does this all make us desensitized now? Like, we're kind of just like, all right, and
desensitized to what
this
in
type
particular?
of stuff that's happening. Like, that's,
this is now normal. This is unfortunately the way. I mean, I think it's more normalized. Not saying that it should be accepted, but I think it's so much more normalized. Maybe it was happening in the past, but we just didn't know about it. It wasn't as out there. Now it's just out there, and like,
I guess now we can gig on it because it's out there.
It is, and I kind of, and it's sad because I think the whole what do they say, thing of marriage is very sacred, and to find your person, to live happily ever after, those memes where you have the old people, or that movie Up, the little cartoon Up with the two married, when they stay together forever until death do you part type of thing. And then you think about, again, like, that's sad that this is what today is. You have more people getting divorced, or more people having polyamorous open marriages, than you have people trying to focus on just the two individuals and trying to move forward with just them and longevity.
Well, is it that because, well, not because, but it is said that we are not, what's it, one person? When you're
monogamous?
with
Monogamy.
Yeah, we're not
Monogamous.
Monogamous.
I think and I think it goes into also when you have people defining the different types of love that they have also, like loving one person and then loving many people, and so I think it kind of gives people an out, or an excuse to say, well, this is what's going on in today, so why can't I join the bandwagon?
Right. And then you also hear, and I don't believe in this, they're like, oh, men aren't meant to be monogamous. Well, then is women meant to be monogamous? Like, they're meant to be with multiple people. But they only classify men, not women. They're going to say, because there's no way a woman can do that, because you being the receiver versus the giver. Like, we're receiving their spirit and taking it, and men are just giving. I'm like, I think they're all bull crap, like you said, similar.
Who cares? Receiver, giver, multiplying. So
maybe they should make a waiting period for marriage. Like, it takes you, some states make it 6 months to a year before you can get a divorce. Maybe you got to apply for your license. You got to take a test. You got to see people, maybe you got to go to some counselors, get it approved. Like, wait 6 months. Would that make a difference? I don't know. But, if you actually had to go through some different processes or working processes before you got married, I don't know.
Yeah, if it was harder to get married, you're saying, then you would think about it a little bit more.
Right.
I guess so.
I think if it was a little bit more difficult to get divorced, people would stay in their marriage a little bit longer. But going back to what you were saying, what I found interesting about the video was that the man who was the married man cheating, he initiated the side piece girl, right? Okay. But then he just assumed that the side piece would want a relationship, but then she was the one who's like, oh no, you're a side piece too. And I think it goes back to what Marilyn was saying, the differences in perceptions of
The
gender,
relationship. Oh yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yep. Because they
Yeah.
assume if you're sleeping or cheating as a female that you want that man and you want that relationship.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And, some women don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I actually know women who only date people who are involved because they don't want that. They don't want a full time. They like you to come over, take them out, wine and dine them, but they want you to go back to whoever. They don't want you to fall in love. They don't want that commitment. And I think, I don't agree with that lifestyle. I think that's wrong, but that's what they want.
Well, I
And
can understand it.
well, yeah.
Yeah, because that's kind of like it still stays brand new. You know what I mean? Like you still like okay, because this is like stolen moments or whatever. So then you get all the gifts and
The happiness.
whatever.
You're not the everyday monotony of being in a relationship. And I don't
You
mean
can
monotony in
pop
a
in
bad
whenever
way,
you
but
feel like it.
it gets stale, or the household chores and the
Mhm.
responsibilities being in a relationship where you're not.
Yeah. Mm,
And it's kind of sad, but you know,
can be fun.
yeah, exactly. I like how you snuck that
Just
in
saying.
with the eyebrows. Can be fun. But I like the fact that it was just like you guys said, the reverse of the female talking like, "Hey, what?"
Because would it have
Remember
been
on
funny?
August 16th? Huh?
Would it have been funny if a guy was saying the same thing? It would be like, oh, dang, you know what I mean? Because
True.
the woman saying it now, it's funny because they're like, oh, word.
Exactly. But I thought, that was something to kind of like give us something to talk and think about. So,
Not being a side piece or don't forget your position. Know your role.
and play it
Know
real
your
well.
worth too.
True.
That's it too.
That's
Know
true.
your worth. True. Know your worth. So, Entourage, we hope that you enjoyed today. It was a little funky, a little off, but y'all know lava is all over the place. So, this is nothing new. So hopefully you enjoyed our conversation. Drop down in the comments. And if you've made it this far, come on now. Just like, subscribe, do all of that good stuff. And we'll see you next week.
Deuces.